I have a disease called angilonucleodemas, and it's to do with the liver. And for 25 years, the doctors, I've been to every doctor in Canyon County. Many times I used to lay in the emergency room and with the severe pain. I listened to Elaine here talk about the severe pain and things, and so how they could take that pain away from me is that they would shoot me up with Thorazine. And if any of you have ever had any Thorazine, it's a pretty wicked thing. They would give me a couple of shots of Thorazine and put me in the hospital and keep me overnight. And so, as some of these ladies' testimonies, my life had become to believe that there was no hope for me. And I had just zoned in that that's the way I was going to live. When these attacks showed up, to the emergency room I'd go, and the way it would be. The doctors had told me that someday you won't come out of one of these attacks, and I thought, oh, it'll be okay. So he'd done some work and found out that I have angilonucleodemas. That is, I have no C inhibitor in my liver that produces protein. So most of the time, my body hurts from toes on up. So I've been coming to Dr. Koppel's office on a monthly basis for blood cultures to keep a monitor on this C inhibitor. And it's been functioning around 2 to 3. And at the highest, it functions on 4. And because I had a real severe time in October, one of them days hit that I didn't think I was going to come out of it. So I went in June to have my blood culture before we went on vacation. And the doctor took my blood culture, and he said, Nellie, what are you doing different? And I said, nothing. He said, your liver's never been at 11. And I said, so? You know, I ain't doing nothing different. So I went to the phone in the doctor's office. I called my mom, and I said, what's that stuff I'm taking? So I go back, give it to the doc, telling what I'm taking. And he said, I'd like to have some information on it. And this doctor's a well-known doctor. He works at Misty's, Dr. Koppel. So I took in some information, and so my mom and I went on our trip and had a wonderful time, and I got back, and he's on the answering machine. And he said, Nellie, call me immediately. Of course, them hopes go down and the fears come in, and oh dear, the medicine's not working. So I called back, and he just took a blood culture when I left the last of June, and he said, I can't believe this. Your C inhibitor's at 16, and it's never been at 16. I had been programmed from the medical field that there was no hope, and so I can't say enough for it. What I'm probably, if I could say it in one word, is it gave me hope, and that's a whole lot in my life. Thanks a lot.
Hi, my name is Phil. I've been employed with a national food company for the past 30 years, and over the last 10, 12 years, I have developed arthritic problems. My right shoulder was so painful that I physically could not sleep on my right side, physically couldn't get sleep at night just because I couldn't get comfortable. My hand, right hand, the second knuckle would swell to the point that I couldn't hardly make a fist. And then I had a knee that had had 2 surgeries on it that every step that I took, it was like 1,000 needles shooting up my back. After visiting with a good friend of mine, I was referred to a natural supplement called OPCs, and to try that before I considered any further surgery. After 2 months of being on the product, I found out that the shoulder pain was diminishing. After probably 3 to 3.5 months, it was completely gone. The pain in my hand has been gone. The knee, it took quite a while for the pain to go away on that. In fact, the pain had been so bad, I went back to the doctor, and he said, hey, you're down to bone on the inside, and it's just full of arthritis. Stand the pain as long as you can, and then we'll put an artificial knee in. After being on OPCs for probably 6 months, the pain has diminished in that knee. I've been on the product now for a little over 1.5 years. I walk 2 miles every morning before I go to work, and that pain is physically gone. OPCs has turned my life around. The energy that I was wasting on pain, I now divert towards a happy, healthy, productive life.
Hi, my name is Jan, and when I was in my late 20s, I was diagnosed with arthritis in my feet and ankles. And rather than having any type of treatment, I went with mind over matter and just ignored it. When I was in my mid-40s, it got so bad it would take about a half an hour to get out of bed in the morning. A friend of mine introduced me to OPCs. I took megadoses for about 2.5 months and realized one day getting out of bed that I had no more pain in my feet and ankles. And now I'm back to what I was in my 20s as far as my activity levels go. I'd recommend anyone to take OPCs for any type of ailment that they might have.
Hello, my name is Aaron, and I've been taking the OPCs for the past 3 years of my life, and it's dramatically changed everything that I've done in those 3 years. I played water polo for the past 8 years at college and in high school, and now I play professionally in Australia. The OPCs has dramatically changed everything I've done in the water and also out of the water in academics. It all started about 3 years ago. Before my first 2 weeks are known as the hardest 2 weeks of practice. We start off with 3 hours in the water in the morning, 3 hours in the afternoon, followed by a 2-hour drylands running session and weights. This is very hard on our bodies. Our muscles are continually drained, and it's hard to recover in between practices. It just makes it for long days. When my father came up to me about these oligometric proanthocyanidins, also known as the OPCs, he told me a couple things. First, my muscle time would recover. Second, it would make me a better athlete, and it would also help my concentration time in the water, and it would make me a healthier person. At first, I was very skeptical. But because it was my father, I didn't want to disappoint him and make him mad at me, so I decided to make him happy and take the OPCs. After the first week of practice, I noticed some dramatic changes in my performance. I was swimming a lot faster times. My endurance times were a lot longer. I was recovering in between practices, and most importantly, my injuries in my shoulders had seemed to disappear. As a college athlete, we are often scrutinized over performance-enhancing drugs and other supplements that athletes are known to take. I was also very worried about this. But seeing OPCs are a completely natural substance, I cleared it through my athletic training staff, my coach, and had it checked out also with a physician. This is a completely natural substance, which gave me a lot of comfort as an athlete. In college, it's a lot of hard work, being an athlete and trying to balance school. There's more to college than just being a dumb jock, and I try to exemplify that as much as I can. Taking the OPCs has really helped me out in my academics as well as athletics. Getting up at 5 a.m., having 2 hours of practice, then running a 4-hour class, another 3-hour practice, sometimes weights, and then having to go back, do a research paper, study for midterms, finals, and then have a job at night to try and pay for it all is very challenging for a young adult who's very influential in his life. But the OPCs has really helped me out. It's helped me to focus in class when I was very mentally and physically tired. It's helped me focus out of class studying for class and research. And more importantly, it's helped me to become where I am today. My last year, I accomplished Dean's List and Student Athlete of the Year, as long as All-American honors in water polo and first team All-League. Over the past 3 years, the OPCs has made me a better person because it's given me the energy to do the things I want to do in my life. The things that I've wanted to do was be the best person I can, be the healthiest person I can, and make everyone have energy around me. As an athlete, I pride myself in having lots of energy and being in good shape year-round. And being in good shape year-round means having my body perform at the top level and being able to recover. This all-natural substance isn't performance enhancing. It helps my body maintain its refreshness and its muscle endurance. And it helps my inflammation in my tendons go down so I don't have problems with tendinitis anymore, and I don't have to sit out games or sit out practices, which in the long run makes me a better player. And again, the OPCs has made me a better person, a better player, and a better student.
My name is Kevin. And I don't have a big life-changing testimonial about OPCs, but I was in a recreational basketball league a couple of years ago, and I wasn't able to make it to every game, probably only about every third game, and anybody who plays sports knows you can't get into any kind of conditioning physically fit when you're only playing every couple of weeks. I was talking to the wife before I went to play and telling her I was probably going to end up having cramps by the end of the game, and she recommended that I take the OPC before I play. And so I did, and sure enough, I had no cramps, the lung burn that you get in your lungs when you're running real hard, and the taste of blood in your mouth. I didn't experience that, and I was able to run the whole game and keep up with everybody else on the court who played every week, and just generally felt much better. Even after the game, when I got home that night, I still didn't have any cramping, and just felt good afterwards. I probably should have taken it between each quarter, but I only took one dose before the game, so that's a pretty powerful testimonial for what the OPCs can do for you. Any athlete can really benefit stamina-wise and performance-wise. It's not a performance-enhancing drug of any kind. Obviously, it's a natural nutritional supplement. But any athlete can benefit from taking the OPC.
Hi, my name's Carl Wagner. I'm a personal trainer. I've been a trainer for about 10 years, roughly. I've worked very closely with physical therapists and chiropractors in the rehab process, helping assist them with their patients after the initial therapies were over. I've also worked in areas of strength and endurance and weight loss and just overall wellness. In the past, I've owned a personal training business with over 30 trainers in 3 gyms and in 2 states, so I've seen a lot of clients come and go. Also in that time, I've seen a lot of products claiming to help with joint pain and tendinitis and other performance-related issues, and on occasion I've even tried some myself. What I noticed was that didn't really get a whole lot of results from those products. They were just pretty much claiming things that they couldn't do. One day I was introduced to OPC, and I did notice some differences in the areas of performance and endurance. Right away what I noticed was that a workout that would generally take me 4 to 5 days to recover from, I could recover from in less than 2. Also too, I noticed that a chronic shoulder pain that I had for 7 years, it went away. Not right away, but it did go away within about a month, and then slowly I was able to get back to my regular workout routine, which was pretty exciting for me. As far as cardiovascular performance is concerned, I noticed that my mileage on my biking went way up. I like to bike outdoors, and I attribute that mostly to the fact that I had a severe allergy problems that went away after taking OPC. So my lung capacity was much, much better, and I could just ride for a lot longer than I could before. Also too, the recovery time from that was drastically reduced. A 30 to 50 mile bike ride would take me a couple of days to recover, and now after taking OPCs, I noticed that it only takes about pretty much overnight. I got so excited about OPCs that I started to recommend them to my clients. They too noticed drastic improvements in areas of joint pain, tendinitis, arthritis, general inflammation of the joints, and also had similar results with recovery time, just like mine. I would never suggest that I'm a doctor or a scientist, but I can rely on what I've learned personally from taking OPCs and what my clients have experienced, and also the scientific backing that I've read about. If you don't have information on OPCs, there's plenty of places to go on the net or books or in addition to this video. I would never suggest going out and doing workouts or any type of sport without professional advice, and I certainly would suggest that you do take OPCs. They do help, and I highly recommend them. Thank you.